Good day, everyone. I am Alvia de la Cruz, a fourth-year student of North Shatin campus, taking a Bachelor of Elementary Education, major in General Curriculum. Our topic for today is all about differentiated instruction. But before we start our topic, let us know the objectives. Define what differentiated instruction. Recognize the four areas where instructions can be differentiated: the content, process, product, and the learning environment, and learn examples and techniques to adapt lesson based on the student's needs, strength, and interest. What does differentiated instruction mean? Differentiated instruction is a teaching method that adjusts instruction to fit the needs of all students, while the learning goal remains the same for everyone. This approach allows teachers to vary instruction depending on a student's strength as well as their struggles. It also can take into consideration a student's interests and preferences. This is the opposite of a more traditional whole group instruction method such as lecturing, class read alouds, or everyone working on the same worksheet or assignment. With differentiated instruction, students have options for how to take in, process, and retain information. How can teachers differentiate instruction? In practice, teachers are able to differentiate instruction across four areas. The first, the content; the second, the process; the third one, the product; and the last one is the learning environment. And now, let's tackle first the content. Differentiation with content refers to the adapting what the students needs to learn or how the students will get the access to the information. First, teacher needs to consider the learning objective of the lesson before tailoring options for students to interact with the content in order to meet those objectives. Here are the examples of differentiating content at elementary level, including the following: using reading materials at varying readability levels, using spelling or vocabulary lists at readiness level of students, presenting ideas through both auditory and visual means, meeting with small groups to reteach an idea or skill for struggling learners or extend the thinking or skills of advanced learners. Let's tackle the process. When teachers differentiate the process of learning, they are differentiating how students learn. These are the activities that can help students make sense of what they learn. Sometimes these involve strategic groupings of students. Other times, process differentiation involve teaching the concepts in a variety of ways, including the visual, auditory, or kinesthetic lessons. And here are the examples of differentiating process or activities at the elementary level include the following: using tiered activities through which all learners work with the same important understandings and skills, but process with different levels of support, challenge, or complexity. Providing interest centers that encourage students to explore subset of the class topic of particular interest to them. Offering manipulative or other hands-on supports for students who need them, and varying the length of time a students may take to complete a task in order to provide additional support for struggling learner or to encourage an advanced learner to pursue a topic in greater depth. Let's proceed to the product. Culminating project that asks the students to rehearse, apply, and extend what he or she has learned in a unit. Like example of differentiating product at the elementary level including the following: giving students options of how to express required learning, for example, a puppet show, write a letter, or develop a moral with labels. Using rubrics that match and extend students' varied skills levels. Allowing students to work alone or in small groups on their product, and encouraging students to create their own product assignments as long as the assignments contain required elements. And now, let's proceed to environment. The learning environment is how the classroom feels for students and how everyone works together. These factors also have an impact on learning and offer teachers an opportunity to differentiate the environment and ensure students are successful. Environment differentiation can be as simple as changing how desks are arranged to more intentional changes, such as examining routines or class habits. These are the examples of differentiating learning environment at the elementary level include making sure there are places in the room to work quietly and without distraction, as well as places that invite students' collaboration, providing materials that reflect a variety of cultures and home settings, setting out clear guidelines for independent work that matches individual needs. Why is differentiated instruction important? Every person is different, which means everyone has a way they learn best. Just like teachers have their own process for developing curriculum and lesson plans. And that's all my video. Thank you for watching.